our politics is focused on fake shit and distractions to distract us from the real stuff, right? And so I'm sick of the distraction. I think we should focus on the real stuff. And unfortunately, it's true of the environmental policy, but it's true of a lot of other stuff. We just don't talk about the real thing.
The carbon footprint thing is very concerning to me because I'm seeing this concept that being pushed out of having an app that monitors your carbon footprint and limiting the amount of travel you can do and limiting the amount of things.
I know where that's going to go.
Yeah, just control. It's just controlling
it's absolutely
people.
About control.
And if you can do that, then you can get away with a lot of things. You can get away with a lot of policy.
Yep.
You can get away with a lot of decisions that are made that people wouldn't agree with because you're going to limit so many things about their life. They're going to become accustomed to being governed in that way. It's disturbing to me that there's also profit that's being made off the green movement. There's a lot of people like Bill Gates who have like making a lot of money off of these environmentally conscious things.
$50 million to Kamala Harris, by the way.
Although it is bullshit fake food, that fake meat, which is not good for anybody.
Creeps me out, man.
Read about fake meat, folks. Read about how they're making this. And I'm not talking about 3D printed meat, which is a very different thing, which seems to be at least more consumable.
Mm-hmm.
But like the plant-based meat stuff, that's garbage. That stuff is garbage. Highly processed garbage. If you want to eat vegetables and be vegetarian, eat Indian food, okay? They make really delicious vegetarian food.
I'm married to an Indian American. They make very good vegetarian food.
They make the best vegetarian food.
Yeah.
But it tastes good, and it's actually vegetables.
Yeah.
It's not this crazy fake cheeseburger thing that you have.
No, that's right.
Stop eating that.
When I first started dating my wife, I just had no idea like what vegetarians ate, right? I'm like a meat and potatoes guy from Ohio, and I wanted to make her dinner, and I wanted to really impress her because I was like madly in love with her. And
did you cook beef?
No, the meal that I made her, I'm not proud of this, but I'll tell you, was what crescent rolls are? Those like Pillsbury yeast rolls. Yeah. So I rolled out a flat thing of crescent rolls. I put raw broccoli on top of it. I sprinkled ranch dressing, and I stuck it in the oven for 45 minutes. And
that was it?
Disgusting. And that was my vegetarian pizza that I made.
Wow. Did you even follow a recipe?
No.
You just decided freewheel?
It's like cream. I know she ate dairy. It's broccoli and it's bread, right? That's what vegetarians eat. So yeah, I think that to your point, vegetarian food can actually be quite good.
Yes.
I don't, I still like, I'm kind of one of these people where if I don't have a piece of meat, it's not a complete meal. But if you're gonna eat vegetarian, eat paneer and rice and delicious chickpeas. Do not eat this disgusting fake meat.
I'm just very skeptical when someone is promoting things for either global health or for the environment, and then I find out that they have a ton of money invested in companies that could fit those needs.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a real problem, this philanthro-capitalism
thing. It's very weird, man. We got to look at we have to look at the financial incentives of this. I mean, so one of the big things that me and President Trump confront all the time is the accusation that we're somehow like in bed with Russia, which is like the dumbest thing in the world to me. Like, I don't really care about Russia. I just don't think we should have a nuclear war, like writ large. I'm very anti-nuclear war.
That sounds reasonable.
Thank you. Appreciate that. And one of the things they never interrogate is who is the biggest funder of the green energy movement in Europe? It's the Russians. And why are the Russians funding? It's not because they care about climate change. It's because they want the Germans and everybody else to buy Russian natural gas. And they realize that if the Germans and French close down all their coal and nuclear factories, Russia is going to have them by the balls. But holy shit, the Russians are monitoring this fucking conversation. It's they're shutting down coal, they're shutting down any of their base power and leaning really into solar and wind. But again, the green energy movement in Europe is heavily funded by the Russians because the Russians want to have, because they produce so much natural gas, they want to have Europe by the balls. So again,
how do they convince them to shut down their nuclear power plants, though?
Well, in the same way that Bill Gates is convincing us to eat fake meat, is they fund all this stuff and they make it about the environment. Well, that's true. He's trying to.
But everybody, the problem is you look at him and you go, hey, how are you a health expert? This is look at you. The funniest thing ever was when Elon showed a photo of Bill Gates next to a photo of a pregnant man emoji, and he said, if you want to lose a boner real quick. And that's a wild boy. You imagine
Elon is funny as shit, man. He's
funny as shit.
Yeah,
Getting
he
dumped
really
on
is.
by that guy's got to suck because you can't even say he's a dumbass.
Right.
You know?
That's right. Yeah. You can say many things. You can't say he's a dumbass.
You get dunked on by one of the smartest guys alive. But the point is, like, Bill doesn't look good. He looks terrible. He's aging way harder than Trump. Like, it doesn't, whatever you're doing, don't eat like that anymore. Like, go to an actual doctor. Like, I don't know what you're doing. Who's telling you to eat your fake meat? You look like shit.
Yeah,
so you can't
that's
give
right.
advice. This is crazy. You
That's
can't
exactly
give advice
right.
about health.
Yeah.
You're not a healthy person.
That's right.
You know?
Well, I mean, Bill Gates, like, maybe he's a good guy. I'm highly skeptical. I don't know him very well. But he's getting rich off of all of this stuff that he's supporting in the name of health or in the name of climate. Our inability to just ask ourselves, who's getting rich from this stuff? Maybe we should be skeptical of the people getting rich from this stuff is one of our big failures as a political society.
It's a sheep costume. You put on a sheep costume
put
when
on a
you're a
sheep
wolf.
costume. That's right.
And you make a lot of money with global health.
That's
you
right.
know? And who doesn't want global health? What a nice guy.
Yeah.
Oh, he's like very philanthropic. He's
Well,
spending all this money trying to help poor people.
Right.
And then you find out, like, hey, wait a minute, how much money did you make doing that?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you made $500 million doing that?
Exactly.
That's crazy. It's a very sneaky move, but he's a smart guy. He's in a lot of very sneaky moves, like the donating all the money to the media companies, which is why they never criticize him.
That's right.
He's donated like $350 million to all these different companies.
That's right. Or, this is, I think, one of the reasons why we don't have more people asking questions about Big Pharma.
Of course.
Is the entire national media. Think about how many pharmaceutical advertisements you watch when you watch a football game.
Yeah.